Hey everybody, Rabbi Denise here, and every Friday I do what I call a Shabbat Live for secular synagogue folks. And what that is essentially, you could think of it like a sermon or a commentary, something you might hear from a rabbi in a typical kind of service or congregational setting, but I just do it over a Facebook Live. And for the last while, we've been welcoming new members. And so I sometimes do them sort of more publicly on my, public Facebook page. But then I kind of go back to doing them for the group because I really believe in both putting some stuff out there for everybody to make it maximum, accessible and available for people, because not everybody wants to or is able to join secular synagogue, but also I want to, service the members and offer something for people who do decide to sign up and join the community. So we just closed our doors to new members. The next time we'll be welcoming new people is Hanukkah, but I wanted to do one last Shabbat Live because I just found this so inspiring and I wanted to inspire everybody with it. So if you're a secular synagogue member, this is really about you. And if you aren't part of our community, then, we love you and send you so much luck and joy in this new year. And we hope to welcome you next time we have our doors open. What I wanted to do for the Shabbat Live normally comes from me, and I write something about what I'm thinking about and how I'm finding courage and strength, and what I'm, how I'm using Jewish teachings or wisdom to kind of move into the Shabbat period. But this one is really going to be in the words of folks who joined our Yom Kippur service. I totally was inspired by this part of the service where I spoke about 3 B's: belief, behavior, and belonging, and how those 3 things kind of determine who we are and what is the makeup of the goodness in our lives. And I know a lot of people who are kind of secular, cultural Jews, agnostic, atheist, spiritual but not religious, any of those categories, sometimes define our Judaism and ourselves according to what we don't believe. So people will say like, well, I don't believe in God, so I don't know how I can, be Jewish, or I don't know how to connect Jewishly. And those are the people that we serve somewhere in that range, like agnostic, atheist, believe in something but not the God of the Bible or a personal God, the whole gamut. But what we do in secular synagogue is not prayer. But I don't want to define ourselves by what we don't believe and what we don't do. I want to focus on what we do, because I'm such a believer. The mission of secular synagogue is to use Jewish teachings and wisdom and ritual and practice to improve our lives, to add richness and goodness to our lives, so we become in turn forces for goodness in the world, justice in the world. And so when I asked people what they believe in, it was over Zoom, so we used the chat, and I just asked people to type in something that they strongly believe. And I'm going to read you the list. It's a little bit long, but I find it so inspiring, and I think you're going to find it inspiring too. And as I move into Shabbat, I'm just thinking about all of these beliefs. I'm teary I haven't even started, but I know what it says. So I hope you find it inspiring too. Before I read it, I'll just say tonight's the start of Sukkot. So I know not everybody has the ability to build a sukkah, but a lot of the teachings about Sukkot have to do with hospitality, and there's something called ushpizin, the guests that you would welcome. Sometimes, traditionally it's like the biblical and other patriarchs in Judaism, but people have expanded that to be thinking about the idea of if you could welcome anybody to your sukkah, your little hut, who would it be? Who would you have dinner with if you could? It's fun to kind of think about that. And the teaching around hospitality is that, the biblical tent of Abraham and Sarah was said to be open on all sides so that they were hospitable to travelers from any direction. And right now we're living in a time when our doors are closed to people in our homes, trying to keep everybody safe. But how can we be welcoming and hospitable and tell people that they matter to us now? So it might be online, it might be outside, but we can get creative and use that same teaching. The last thing I'll say about Sukkot is secular synagogue is comparing indigenous teachings around hospitality and the harvest to Jewish ones at this time of year. And we're all getting together to make not getting together in real life, but in our own individual homes, but all together making Three Sisters soup and experiencing the bounty of the harvest that way. And if you don't know Three Sister Soup, you can just look it up. It's kind of traditionally indigenous recipe for this time of year. Okay, so what do we believe? I'm going to read the list, and that's going to serve as our Shabbat Live for this week. And I'm going to wish you all a beautiful Shabbat and a beautiful Sukkot. Here are the beliefs. We cannot be free until all of us are free. We should save our planet now. I believe small deeds matter. Family is so important. Creativity heals. There are no absolutes. The personal is political. We have an obligation to make the world better. All people are equal. We have inherent worth and dignity. Black Lives Matter. Diversity and inclusion for everyone. Love will win. I believe that it is up to us as individuals to change the world for the better and not government. Black and Indigenous lives matter. Equality and acceptance. Pro-choice. Every voice matters. Racial equity. Count everyone because everyone counts. We all have our own truths. Secular humanism leads to inclusivity. Change begins at the individual level. Never doubt your impact. There is so much goodness in the world. Women's rights are human rights. Kindness is essential to the survival of humanity. Equity, reparations. Science in the service of humanity. Someone wrote, I truly believe in my students. Humans are inherently good. Water is life. I believe small acts of goodness create more goodness. And I believe that the mitzvah system we have in Judaism possesses collective superpower. So if you're just joining in or just starting to watch this, that's what folks who joined the Secular Synagogue Yom Kippur service said they believed in. It's a beautiful list. And I didn't edit it at all. That's what they said in the chat on Yom Kippur. And I found it beautiful and inspiring. And we are living in a very, very cynical time. So sometimes just reorienting ourselves to what we do believe in and what gives us hope, I think, is very powerful. Thank you, Nicole. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach to you too. So again, I'm wishing you a beautiful Sukkot and a beautiful Shabbat. Take some time to rest. Take some time to think about what you believe in, what gives you strength and joy and hope. And Secular Synagogue members, we have a lot going on in the next while. So check the Facebook group for updates on our upcoming programs. Mwah. Love you. Bye.